I'd like to echo Glenn's comments and thank everybody for being here. It's good to see everybody back after the Thanksgiving holiday. We enjoyed seeing some of our family that we hadn't seen for quite some time, and also enjoyed eating way too much turkey. But it's good to be back here today. And I extend a special welcome to our visitors and encourage you to please come back tonight so you can hear Brother Andy speak. Don't judge this congregation on me. Please come back. We're going to be doing something a little bit different here this morning. Earlier this summer, the elders and I started on revamping our visitation program, and we're ready to re-kick that off this next month in December, next week. So they asked that I kind of get up and explain what our program's going to be, how it's going to work, and kind of what your role is going to be in that. So I pray that you'll bear with me as we kind of go through that this morning. Before we get into the details of that program, I'd like to read a story. In the fall of the year, Linda, a young woman, was traveling alone up the rutted and rugged highway between Alberta to the Yukon. Linda didn't know you didn't travel to Whitehorse alone in a rundown Honda Civic, so she set off where only four-wheel drives normally venture. The first evening, she found a room in the mountains near a summit and asked for a 5 a.m. wake-up call so that she could get an early start. She couldn't understand why the clerk looked surprised at that request, but she awoke too early and saw the early morning fog surrounding the mountaintops. At that point, she understood. Not wanting to look foolish, she got up and went to breakfast. Two truckers invited Linda to join them, and since the place was so small, she felt obligated. "Where are you headed?" one of the truckers asked. She said, "Whitehorse." "In that little Civic? No way. This pass is dangerous in weather like this." "Well, I'm determined to try," was Lindsay's gutsy, if not very informed response. "Then I guess we're just going to have to hug you," the trucker suggested. Linda quickly drew back. "There's no way I'm going to let you touch me." "Not like that," the truckers chuckled. "We'll put one truck in front of you and one in the rear, and that way we'll get through the mountains." All that foggy morning, Linda followed the two red dots in front of her and had the reassurance of a big escort behind as they made their way safely through the mountains. And the moral of this story is that we need each other. And that's part of God's great plan. He's given us His Word so that we'll have a guide, so we'll know what He expects of us. He's given us prayer so that we have a direct communication with Him. But He's given us the fellowship of brothers and sisters in Christ to help give us that support through those tough and troubling times. So as we think about our visitation program, that's really what I'm envisioning. A program that's here to make it easier for us to help each other along the path, and our path is to heaven. Alone, we won't be able to make it, but with God's help and with the help of each one of us here, we will be able to make it. So as we think about our visitation program, here's kind of our purpose and goals. One, we want to encourage and visit those that are sick. We want to check on them. We want to make sure that they're doing okay. We don't want anybody to be left out or forgotten about. So probably the first and biggest purpose of this program is to make sure that all our sick and those that need our help, we're aware of it and we know what they need. We also want to support those that need encouragement. Towards the end of this lesson, we're going to talk about drifting away. And that's one thing with this program is we want to make sure we reach out to those that may be beginning to drift away and let them know that we're here to help, we care about them, we love them. We don't want somebody to just gradually start missing without them knowing that we're here to help and we're here to support them. And then the other thing is we want to reach out to visitors. We want our visitors to know that when we say that they're our special and honored guest, we want them to know that we mean that, and that we're a place that they can come and worship and work, where they'll know that they're loved, that they have support. So we want to reach out to those visitors. Now you may ask me, why do you need an organized program to do this? And I'll say this congregation, since we've been here, it's very obvious that people do this already. And we're not creating this program to do something that we're not doing. But the benefits of having an organized work to do this is so that we don't miss anyone. Nobody falls through the cracks. We want to make sure everybody's covered. the other side of this too is we want to give everybody an opportunity to have a part in this. Sometimes people like me, kind of shy, not real, that wasn't a joke, Andy. Sometimes people don't want to step up and say, hey, I'll be willing to do something. So we provide this organized work to make sure that everybody has that opportunity to get involved. Now, before you start any work, you need to ask the question, is this something that God wants us to do? And there are a lot of congregations around the world that get in a lot of trouble by starting to do something with good intentions, for a good purpose, without asking, is this an authorized work from the New Testament? So let's look at a few verses so that we can understand if this is or is not something that we should be a part of. The first verse here is James 1:27. It says, pure religion and undefiled before God the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. Then you also read in Galatians 6, chapter 1 and 2, brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. We won't read Acts 6, but you can read in Acts 6 where the apostles organized a work to take care of the widows there in the Jerusalem congregation. You can also read in Matthew 25, 31 through 46. You clearly see what Christ's expectations are for helping those that are in need, whether it's sickness, whether it's just they need something, or even if they're confined to prison. We see clearly there that Christ expects us to help them as if we are helping him. So we see from these verses that not only do we have a direct command that we are to visit the sick, to help the people that need help, but we also have examples of this being organized in the New Testament. So we can feel confident that yes, this is a work that Christ would support. So now to come to the details of how our program is going to work, and this isn't rocket science. I know we've had programs here in the past. This is probably not going to be a lot different from what we have done in the past. But the details of the program, we're going to have 4 teams, and we're going to divide. The congregation has been divided up into 4 teams. And the reason why we divided it up instead of asking for volunteers is the elders felt strongly that this is something they want everybody to be a part of. So we took the congregation pretty much from the high school age and up and divided them into 4 teams. At the close of our service today, a couple of our young men are going to be in the back by the announcement board. They're going to hand out sheets that look like this. And this sheet will have the 4 teams listed on there. It'll list the team leaders and their meeting time, and it'll list out all the members. If your name's not on there, please let me know. Julie will tell you I make lots of mistakes. I did get her to proof it. I did have the elders proof it, but we may have missed somebody. If your name's not on here and you want to be a part of this, please let me know. Or I'll even say if your name's not on there, let me know and we'll get it on there. And we'll get that corrected. And team leaders, the sheet that you have is outdated. We did have some changes, so there is a date, very small. I may be the only one that can read it, but it's got today's date on there. So that's the current list. And if we change in the future, we'll change that date. But look for these lists at the end of the service to see which team you have been assigned to. And as I said, we'll have 2 co-leaders per team, so each of the team leaders will have a backup depending on their schedules. And then each team will meet once per month. So team 1, and this will show that, team 1 will meet on the first Sunday, team 2 will meet on the second Sunday, team 3 on the third Sunday, and then team 4 will meet on the 4th Sunday. And you can see here our team leaders that graciously volunteered to be a part of this. Team 1 will be led by myself and Kyle Canton. Team 2 by Doug Medlin and Larry Spees. Team 3 will be led by the Barron brothers, Craig and Chad. And then Team 4 will be led by Max Woods and Dan Clevenger. So at the end of the service, make sure you get one of those sheets that'll tell which team you've been assigned to. If we run out, we'll have some more set out tonight, and we'll set some on the table in case you lose that. So kind of how this process is going to work, each Sunday evening for whichever team has been assigned, They're going to review this pew sheet. This is the pew sheet that Sister Janice puts together for us. This is an awesome sheet for a program like this, because this sheet will have all the information we need to do to be able to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. It lists out all those that were sick, and it gives us the latest information on them. It also in the back lists out the visitors we had. And then it also has a list of who was there, who was present, and who wasn't present, who was absent for that night, and the reason why. So the team leaders each month will take this list and they'll go through with the groups, and we'll discuss who's sick, discuss the visitors, and within that team they will decide what level of visit or what level of contact we need to make. And our goal is for every visitor, for everyone that's sick, we make a contact. And the teams will decide whether that's a card, whether it's a call, or whether it's a visit. Obviously, we prefer the visits for a face-to-face visit for our visitors, but those teams will discuss and make whatever decisions appropriate for that situation. And it'll vary based on who it is. And then also in this meeting, we'll discuss, any concerns we have for anybody that maybe begin to drift away, or somebody that's missed for a few times or if they know of a situation that somebody needs some help. We'll discuss that in this meeting. And then what the team leaders will do, that didn't come out very well, but this is basically just a little tracking sheet that the team leaders will fill out at each meeting, and they'll list out the team member who's made the commitment. So if we were meeting tonight, we would probably assign maybe Julie to send Andy a card, because I know we had a tough loss this weekend. Had to work it in there somehow. So you list the team member, what assignments made, and then what type of visit are they assigned? A card, a call, or a personal visit. And then the team leaders will hand this back to me, and then we'll keep track of this. We'll have a spreadsheet that'll have all this in there, so we can keep track of, well, we visited this person 5 times, or we've sent 28 cards. We'll keep up with that data. And then this is a card that you've all probably seen before. I think in 2004, I think we used this card. So we've still got a bunch of them, so we're going to use them up. But when you've been assigned a visit, you'll take this card and fill it out, and it'll probably be somewhat filled out when you get it with your name and what visit you've been assigned. The thing we ask is, and we'll have a box back in the back that we'll ask that you turn this back in, and we ask you to try to get it back by Wednesday. So if you met on Sunday, try to have your visit done by Wednesday. If that's not possible, that's fine. But try by that next Sunday morning, have this filled out and send it back. And even if something happened, you got sick, or something happened and you weren't able to do it, that's fine. Just fill it out on there, and at least we'll have a record then. Okay, that visit wasn't able to happen for whatever reason. But when you make your visit or you make your call, if you go and visit a sick and you notice that they've got a massive leak in their roof, put that on the card. Or if you're talking to them and you realize they probably really need to talk to Andy or one of the elders, put that on there. We'll get that information back to the elders and Andy. We're going to attempt to summarize this info every week to share it with the elders and the team leaders, but at a minimum, the elders and the team leaders will meet every 5th Sunday, and we're going to discuss what happened throughout the month. So we'll take all this information, compile it, we'll put it in some kind of report and share that with the team leaders and the elders. And on that note, I know this is kind of short notice, but I do need to meet with the team leaders tonight. So if you forgot you're a team leader, or look at that list, make sure if you're a team leader, if you are, I need to meet with you tonight after the evening services for a quick meeting. So our next steps is we're going to start this next month. This will start in December. Group 1 will meet next Sunday night after services. So if you get your list, look at what group you're on, and if you're in group 1, then we will meet next Sunday night. If you have any questions about this program, if you have any suggestions or ideas, let your team leader know, let me know, and we will answer those and take all those suggestions into consideration.